Hey guys, it's Tracy. Welcome to my channel. Today I am excited to share with you some fall farmhouse DIYs using some of my favorite things. There's probably going to be some paint splatters and some happy dots and some doodles and some squiggles. And so I am so glad that you are all here. Today is a special day because I am collaborating with my sweet friend Linda of Faythchick 777. She and I have become great friends, and we decided that we were going to do another collaboration for you, just bringing some fall DIYs. So after you watch my video, please go over to Linda's channel and watch her video, give her some love, let her know that I sent you. And her link will be in the description box below. If you just click the description box, it will drop down and then all of the information will be in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So let me show you what I did.
Okay, for project number 1, I am using 3 of these wooden little boxes. They have pumpkins on them and they are from the Dollar Tree. And the orange I'm using is this Canyon Orange. It is an Americana brand, but I just pulled it out of my paints. And I just gave each one of them a coat all the way around inside and the outside of this orange paint. Then I will shade on both sides of the pumpkins because, as you can see from the picture, I wanted to make it where you can see it from both sides. And so to shade, I just used my flat paintbrush. I dip half of my brush in paint, the other half in clean water. I blend on a paper towel, and then I go around the edges, and then to make the dimensions of the pumpkin to make it look really cute. I will take my little thin paintbrush and I will make some squigglies, some doodles. This is what I like to do for my projects. And then I'll go back and I will give each pumpkin some paint splatters by using my stencil brush and some black paint. I use a wooden toothpick or a stick. You can also use a toothbrush if you would like to do this. A lot of my friends say that they use the stiff toothbrush. That is totally good, but I just you need something stiff so that you can, when you put your paint on your brush, that you can run your stick across it and it will splatter. The beauty is in the details for me, and I'm just using my fine Sharpie marker, just going around each of the pumpkins just to make it pop and look so cute. Next, I am just going to put a clear gloss of varnish on it because that's what I like to do. It's a personal preference of the varnish that I like to do. Next, I'm showing you here, this is what I'm going to use for the stems. I just am taking some burlap from the Dollar Tree and I just cut the width in half, and then I just glued the burlap around the stem and make it look ratted and tattered. And anyway, this mask little tool, I got it at the Dollar Tree in the makeup section, and that helps with holding some hot glue down. I did show you that I did have my pink fingertips, and but I just recently got this masking tool, mask tool. I guess this looks like a little spatula, and it really helps with holding some of that stuff down, like if you need to get in, somewhere. And so I got that over at the Dollar Tree in the makeup section. So then now what I'm doing, I'm just cutting the burlap and just kind of wrapping it around over on each other, on itself, and that's going to be the stem of my pumpkin. I just kind of slipped the pumpkins together where they kind of, if like they fit like a puzzle. That's just what I was just kind of thinking when I was doing it. And then I just hot glued those down so that they would all stay together. And then I'm going to use this pitberry garland. This is from the Dollar Tree, just oh so cute and speaks to my heart. And so I'm just cutting off pieces of that, just twisting it around my finger and just adding it to the pumpkin to kind of simulate some tendrils for each of the pumpkins. For the signs of the pumpkins, I just have two of these small little blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take off the sides. And at first I was cutting them, and then that didn't work out too good, so then I kind of like tore them like paper. I kind of had to work with them with my scissors. Honestly, probably a box cutter works the best because, you know, I had like a light bulb moment. What came on, and it's like this is way too hard. I'm making it more difficult on myself. So I almost had there you could see that I got my box cutter. I'm like, let me see if this works. And so I just took my box cutter and cut it. I'm like, oh yes, that cuts like butter. So if you were to, you know, just for reference, if you want to cut some of these signs off of the front of those little boxes, use your box cutter. So, you know, the signs were a little too white. So I took my Tim Holtz Distress ink. This is in the color Vintage Photo. And I just took a little sponge. Those are in the scrapbooking sections. They just fit on my finger. And I just go over the sign just to add some distressing so that it wasn't quite as white. And now I'm using my ultrafine Sharpie marker and just going around just to bring out and enhance the sign and give it a little dimension. I love the way that the ink and the extra marker just really brings out the pumpkins and, you know, just really brings out the sign itself. And then I will add some splattering by doing my same technique of just using, just doing black, and then I will go over it. I usually use a different stencil brush. Then I'll go back over it with white. Okay, so then to adhere the signs, what I did is I just glue them right in the front, and they just fit very nicely in these three pumpkins. And so once I put my flowers in, you'll be able to see both of, you know, this from both sides. I like to use Excelsior for projects like this. It provides a filler and also some wispiness. And so then these are the flowers that I am using. I chose not to hot glue or glue the flowers into my little arrangement so that I could use them again if I wanted to. The eucalyptus came from Hobby Lobby. The daisies came from Hobby Lobby as well. And the hop bushes came from the Dollar Tree. Did someone say pipberries? Yes, that was me. These orange and white pipberries are from Hobby Lobby in the fall section. I just love them so much, and it just adds just the finishing touch to this little pumpkin box. For my second project, I am making some cute little mini pumpkins. Now just play with me. I think these are just so stinking cute. So I am just using this ribbon from Dollar General. I picked it up this year, 2020. It was $2 for this roll. And also I'm using some cinnamon sticks for the stem. Now what I did, I didn't want it too big, so I just measured out my ribbon and it was like about 5 inches, I think. And I really didn't, I wanted more room at the top so that I would have room for stuffing and for getting my stick in there and for gluing it. So I just, cut off the ribbon and then just glued the sides. Well, first I folded it over so that it would have the crease at the bottom, and then I just glued the sides, and the only thing that was open was the top. Wanted my corners around the bottom to be more rounded, so I just glued the corners and then I used my little spatula and held that down, and that worked really good. And so then now I'm going to decorate my pumpkins. So I have some pip berries, and then I also have this green colored wire that I purchased at Hobby Lobby in the craft floral section. I know that I will get questions about this. I will have it written out in the description box also, so that you will know where to find it or where I purchased it in the floral section at Hobby Lobby. And so it is paper colored or paper covered wire, and it works great for little projects like this. And so then I just trim off the berries and just hot glue everything together. I'm taking more of the burlap, cutting that in half, and then I just kind of twist it like a bow tie and just put that on there because I wanted a little ragged bow. And then I'm just taking strips of raffia and just tying it around to make a bow. And I just love these little pumpkins. I can't wait to make more. Guys, I appreciate you watching, and if you recreate any of the videos today, I invite you to share pictures with me over in my free Facebook community called Country Charm Crafty Community. You will need to request to join. I will approve you, and then you can share your recreations with me or inspire me and show me what you've created. I have this small little wooden crate from the Dollar Tree, and I just painted it this, it's called Antique White Color by Americana. I just gave it a coat of that. I took my antique vintage photo ink, and with my little finger dauber I just gave it some distressing so that it looked a little more worn. And this is what I'm going to be putting my pumpkins in. And to fill it, I just used some of the Excelsior. Now, I like the whimsy look, and so I do share just crafts just to inspire you, but you as the creator can definitely use what you want and as much or as little as you would like to. Just added some small little flowers from the Dollar Tree, just sticking them in there. And then I have some homespun fabric that just coordinating with this rustic fall little arrangement. And I'm just going to tear off a strip of that. I like the ragged edges when I tear it, and just probably tore it about an inch. And I just, tie that around the crate, and then in the middle, just tie it into a knot. If you feel that there is too much in this little crate where it's too bunched up, you can always, not put quite as much as I do, but I like the whimsy look for my projects. I'm using one of these small chalkboard labels from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using this little paint pen. It is a Posca white paint pen, and I am just going to hand letter pumpkin patch, and then I will stick that into the crate with my little pumpkins. Hey guys, I just want to let you know that I am doing a giveaway as part of this video, and I have an extra farmers market calendar, the infamous farmers market calendar that is new to the Dollar Tree this year. There are a lot of people that cannot get their hands on them, and I do have one that I can give away. These are the rules of what you need to do. You must be a subscriber of my channel, like the video, comment, and tell me which one of these projects is your favorite and that you'd like to be entered for your chance to win a farmers market calendar. Because some people just want to leave a comment, they're not interested in the calendar, or maybe they already have one. But anyway, now let's get into the next project. Okay, project number 3 is using one of these harvest trucks from the Dollar Tree, and I want to get off as much of the lettering and the raised glitter as I could, so I just used my sanding sponge and some elbow grease and just rubbed and rubbed and rubbed until I got the majority of it off. And then I'm going to give it 2 coats of this plaster color chalk paint. And then now it's ready for me to embellish it more. I'm just using this granite gray paint, and I'm just kind of freehanding, just shaping out a window, which is going to be the back glass, and I gave that 2 coats of the granite gray paint. I also paint on the sides, which would be the rear view mirrors, and then I go back over it with this metallics silver paint, and I just give it a little bit on the sides and just kind of highlight it a little bit so it has a glare. I painted the wheels black, and then I'm going to use my milk chocolate Americana paint, and I'm going to be shading around just to give it more dimension around everything, the whole truck. And so I dip half of my brush in paint, the other half in water, and I blend on a paper towel, and then I go around the edges of the painted project, and that just gives it dimension and depth and just cute. This is my fan brush, and I like to use this to put treads for my tires. And so I just use just a portion of the brush and just make sure it's not clumped up. And then I just kind of go in a zigzag pattern to give some treads on my tires. And then on the back glass, I'm just doing more whimsy effect. I'm just adding some lines, and they're not perfect. They just are, kind of crooked. Some of them, are a little bit longer than the others. And I just think it just really adds a lot to my finished project. I decided to go back and add a bumper onto my truck. I'm just using the same granite gray paint and just doing the same thing that I did with the back glass by adding some gray paint and then adding some highlights of the metallic silver paint. So then now what I'm doing here is I am just shading around the letters that I hand painted with the black paint, and I'm just going around them just to bring some shadowing and some dimension for the little fall letters. It's all in the details for me, guys. And I just use my fine Sharpie marker and just go around the entire truck and kind of bringing out, the highlights of it. I think it enhances, different parts of it and just makes it look really whimsy and cute. Then I'll do some splattering, and I just use my stiff stencil brush and a stick, and I just dip it in paint and splatter on the entire truck. And then I'll use a different stencil brush and I'll go back and do the white as well. That way it just looks really cute. Now the fun part begins and I can decorate my truck. So I have these pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. And to get it started, I'm just going to start adding some Excelsior. Just going to hot glue a line along the bed of the truck. And then I will just start adding my pumpkins and some flowers and some pip berries and some little sunflowers. These orange pumpkins are a bit bright for me, so I just have my plaster chalk paint and I just dry brush some paint over the pumpkins just to take off, a bit of the shiny brightness and subdue them a bit. I have these stems of wheat that I got from the Dollar Tree and just pulling off parts of the wheat and gluing it on there as well. These wood beads are from Hobby Lobby and they come in 9 in a pack. They didn't have a size on them, so I was unable to tell you what they are. But what I did is I wanted 8 beads for my truck hanger, and I just put 4 on each side. I just used jute to thread them on and then secure them on my truck. So then now I'm going to make a bow, and my ribbons are cut at 6 inches and I dovetailed the ends of them. And I'm just going to, just make just a simple bow to attach to the top of the door hanger. At first, I tied the bow with jute, but I couldn't get it tight enough, so I went back to my handy Chanel stem, and that helped me gather it in the center and get it really tight. And then I'll just attach it, just twist it on that string and have it look, in the middle at the top just to hang it for this truck door hanger.